It is Madman's Lullaby right here on your Classic Metal Show with Little Demons. Very good band.
Love them.
Yep, excellent guys.
Yep.
All right. Well, speaking of Little Demons, we are living in this day and age.
Okay.
Where our little demons or little transgressions or whatever you want to call it are being made a public spectacle.
Okay.
And there's a major, what do you want to call, loss of revenue and livelihood just by the use of words.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot, if not most of you, but a lot of you probably heard about Papa John.
Oh, yeah.
How do you say his last name? It's
Schnatter?
Schnatter?
I think so.
Papa John Schnatter.
Yeah.
Who basically started Papa John's. And it blew up into a, obviously a stockholder corporate entity. So basically, it's his company. He started it. He is the Papa John he is the John in Papa John's.
That's right.
And this is a publicly traded stock, a publicly traded company. He's been the face of the company since the inception.
Sure.
And he was having a conference call. He was not having a public discussion. This was a conference call.
Okay.
So when you and I have discussions, you and I have a conference call or a call during the week, it's between you and I.
Correct.
In a conference call, obviously, there's numerous people involved. And apparently, if the story is correct, and it's a very plausible story, John Schnatter, the founder and public face of the pizza chain Papa John's, used the dreaded N-word.
Oh, my God.
On a conference call in May.
Okay.
Here now. This is where I have a problem with where this story originates.
Okay.
We're in the middle of July now. Okay. Who took it upon themselves as a participant in that conference call to go out and publicly report this?
Somebody looking for 15 seconds of fame on their Instagram.
So whoever was on this conference call, it was Papa John Schnatter. I guess he was talking to a marketing firm or something.
Right.
And they were discussing stuff.
Right. And
apparently, and I'll read the story as it's written, but he was using the word nigger.
Whoa, as he really?
Well, I'm going to make a point here.
Oh my goodness.
That he used the word during the conference call in a point of discussion. Not that he called somebody that or was throwing out racial slurs right and left. He used the term to describe other people who have had problems with marketing things.
Clearly, you're missing the two pieces of the puzzle that you have to know.
And what is that?
He's not a rapper and he's not black.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, he should be murdered. He should be murdered for saying such a word.
On a conference call, which was not like public.
Yeah. That also was not saying, I'm not hiring those niggers.
Nope.
It was saying, what was the context?
Well, we'll get to the context here. But anyway, the thing that bothers me in this, people talk the way they talk. And if he wasn't out making some public statement, if he wasn't out calling somebody that, if he wasn't making some kind of as you put it, some statement saying he's not going to hire any of them, or whatever, that's a different thing.
Sure.
But this was just during a discussion. Now, the fallout from this has been pretty substantial.
For him, sure.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that he's really going to suffer any major loss because he is he is like the main guy of Papa John's.
I'm sure by leaving, he took some huge golden parachute.
Yeah. Well, again, it's his company.
Yeah. So
anyway, let's get into the story.
Okay.
The founder and public face of the pizza chain Papa John's used the N-word on a conference call in May. So we're talking almost 2 months ago already.
Yeah.
2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Schnatter confirmed the incident in an email statement to Forbes on Wednesday. He resigned as the chairman of Papa John's on Wednesday evening. So within a matter of hours of confirming it, it's like, yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
He tendered his resignation letter as the chairman of Papa John's.
Maybe he just didn't want to work anymore.
I don't know. The call was arranged between Papa John's executives and the marketing agency Laundry Service. I guess that's the name of the company. Laundry Service?
I don't know.
It was designed as a role-playing exercise for Schnatter in an effort to prevent future public relations snafus. Schnatter caused an uproar in November of 2017 when he waded into the debate over the national anthem protests in the NFL and partly blamed the league for slowing the sales of Papa John's.
Right.
Okay, because Papa John's was the official pizza of the NFL.
Right.
So, for whatever reason, sales of Papa John's pizza slowed up or something last fall.
Yeah, because less people were watching.
Correct. And so he made the statement that that the NFL was partly to blame the league for slowing sales of Papa John's.
Sure, just fair.
Probably the case.
Yeah.
So on the May call, Schnatter was asked how he would distance himself from racist groups online.
Okay.
He responded by downplaying the significance of his NFL statement.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Colonel Sanders called blacks niggers, Schnatter said, before complaining that Sanders was never faced that kind of backlash.
Right.
So he says, you know, there's another very successful food company whose chairman or face of the company had used that kind of terms, and nothing happened to this guy.
Not only use those kind of terms, still dresses like a slave owner.
Right.
I mean, that's their moniker, is that he's a slave owner.
Yeah, he's a Southern gentleman.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm stealing this from Dave Landau on Kumia's show, but you know why nobody cares about that? Because the food is fucking good.
Yeah.
Papa John's pizza is shit. Everybody likes KFC.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't give a shit what they're saying. The KFC food is good, so people don't care.
Right.
People put up with anything.
So apparently he made that comment.
Okay.
He just said, hey, they've used this kind of term before, or, you know, Sanders used this kind of language, and I never heard any fallout over that.
Well, he should be murdered for saying the word.
Schnatter also reflected on his early life in Indiana, where he said people used to drag African Americans from trucks until they died. He apparently intended for the remarks to convey his antipathy to racism, but multiple individuals on the call found them to be
racist.
No,
what?
Offensive.
God.
A source familiar with the matter said, after learning about the incident, laundry service owner Casey Wasserman moved to terminate the company's contract with Papa John's.
Okay.
In an email statement on Wednesday afternoon, Schnatter confirmed the allegations. News reports attributing the use of the inappropriate and hurtful language during a media training session regarding race are true, he said. Regardless of the context, I apologize. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I have a problem with this.
Okay.
Why are people who were part of a conference call making a statement about this, and why is it anybody's business?
Because it's the me generation.
Oh, I see.
Everybody just wants to get their fucking 30 seconds in the sun. But I'm with you. Whoever leaked it should be fired immediately.
Right.
For their inability to fucking do corporate business.
It's like,
what? Let's say that he didn't say nigger, but let's say that he revealed, I don't know, some secret ingredient that they have in their pizza. We'll call that shit, since that's what their pizza tastes like. But say they use just a little flake of shit in every piece of their pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and somebody leaked that. Would they not fire him for that?
You would think so.
For leaking secrets?
Yeah, revealing something that was supposed to be in confidence.
Mm-hmm. So this should be the same thing, but it's not.
No.
Because the media is hungry for this kind of story, and that the bigger the name, the bigger they want to fucking throw them down.
Mm-hmm.
But to sort of play devil's advocate, but not totally, because I don't think this guy should have been fired. But this guy's a high enough level that he should know better.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, but the thing is he probably felt, and again, I don't know, I'm just interjecting my thoughts here,
mm-hmm.
that it's just like, I'm just using this as an example. My claim that the NFL was partially to blame for slow sales last fall,
mm-hmm.
that was not racially motivated.
No.
It was just saying the NFL didn't take a stand. They didn't stave off the problems that this kneeling and things, it could have been prevented. They could have done something better.
In this pussified generation that we're at in today's world, though, his real best move would have been to not be participating in this goddamn exercise. What is he doing? He's the owner of the fucking company.
Yeah.
Spread that out to your lower underneath people and fucking sit in your office and collect checks.
Yeah.
You stupid shit.
Both Wasserman and Laundry Service declined comment. Schnatter, 56, founded Papa John's in Jeffersonville, Indiana, after he installed a pizza oven at his father's tavern. The business exploded into an international giant with more than 5,000 locations and annual revenues of $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
He stepped down as CEO in January following the November flare-up. The NFL has hurt us by not resolving the current debacle, Schnatter said on the company's third quarter earnings call in reference to a national anthem protest. Papa John's stock subsequently fell 11% in hours,
knocking, and I invested,
knocking $70 million off of Schnatter's net worth. $70 million.
Did you invest anything?
No.
I immediately did.
Did you?
I did. I went. I put $1,000 in my E-Trade and invested in Papa John's because it's going to go back up.
Of course it will.
So I waited because it was at like 61 or something, and it went down. By the time I saw the story, it was down to like 55 and a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought some because it'll go back to 60.
Of course it will.
So I bought 1,000. I'll make. What will I make out of that? Couple $100?
Few, yeah.
Yeah, so why not? I'll happily profit off the word nigger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to fucking take money for somebody else calling somebody a nigger.
Sure.
Fine with me. Pay
me. He is now worth an estimated $700 million.
Oh, the poor guy. Here's the real question. When he orders pizza now, does he still go to Papa John's? Or does he say, fuck you, Pizza Hut, bring me a pie?
Right. In all, company shares have fallen 25% since the remarks.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL incident forced Schnatter to lie low, and Papa John's diminished his prominence in advertising. The change did not set well with Schnatter. He personally hired a marketing agency, not Laundry Service, to create ads featuring him that would air in key markets, a source close to the company told Forbes. Then in May, he pushed out Papa John's CMO Brandon Roden, who lobbied to keep Schnatter off the airwaves. Multiple insiders say with Roden gone, Papa John's tasked Laundry Service with helping to manage Schnatter's comeback.
Wow.
So it was just like, okay, they basically want to, sideline me. And I'm the guy who started the company. I'm the guy who people know, they know my face and they've seen my commercials. And it's like, why should I leave my legacy because of something that people, can't accept as the truth?
Because you got 700 million. Dude, walk the fuck away quietly and enjoy the fact that you hit off of some shitbag pizza. Oh, my God. Have you ever eaten Papa John's pizza?
Oh, yeah, I don't mind it.
Ugh. God. That's just like, that's low end to me. To me, that's low end. That's on the same tier as like Pizza Hut. Just low end pizza. And this guy made $700 million out of it?
Well, it's an international company now.
Walk away. Go bang yourself fucking hookers like 10 at a time. Because you can't. $700 million. What is he doing worrying about if he's still getting TV time? Stop. Buy yourself a network if you want TV time. Stop hiring firms, you dummy. Right? I mean, he could buy a network.
If he wanted to, sure.
You can tell me with $700 million he couldn't buy the CW? He could buy a small network like that, couldn't he? CNBC?
I'm sure he could.
And you know what the N stands for.
Right. Since 2015, Laundry Service has been owned by Wasserman, a sports and marketing agency owned by Casey Wasserman, who is also the grandson of famed studio executive Lou Wasserman. This week, Laundry Service laid off 10% of its workforce in response to financial pressure attributed in part to its revocation of the Papa John's contract.
Right.
So they lost money, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Because everybody's afraid of a single word.
Yeah.
So look at the millions and millions of dollars that are attributed to loss due to a single word.
Yeah, well, at least those that are hurt can still go over to Starbucks and get a surgery and a cappuccino.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Well, again, getting back to my point, this thing where the social justice warriors are given this kind of power these days.
Yeah.
To interrupt business flow, to interrupt people's livelihoods, to interrupt corporations. It's like you cannot legislate behavior.
Nope.
Can't do it. But yet it still goes on.
Yeah.
Now, granted, John Schnatter, he's no worse for wear from this, obviously, on a personal level.
No.
He'll continue getting paid from Papa John's. He just won't be the face anymore.
But what's going to be fucked up is, he's face famous enough to where he'll be fucked with. Because he really didn't say anything racist. He just used a word people don't like, which is unique in itself. That if he would have said something with the word cunt instead of nigger, he'd be fine.
You're probably right.
Well, he wouldn't be fired.
Well, he didn't get fired. He just stepped down.
Well, same deal. He stepped down because the whole board said we're going to push you out.
Right.
That's why he stepped down. He was fired. Come on. Because he could. What's he going to do? Say no, I'm not leaving? Then they'd have fucking voted him out.
Yeah.
But that's public embarrassment that a guy worth $700 million isn't willing to take. So, just sucks. You should start a new pizza place.
That's sometimes that's what ends up happening. They go out and start something new to compete with the old, and they actually become more successful.
Just run it right out of business. Just make this pizza this time without the cardboard. You'll have a much greater success.
Well, now this is the next step in this whole thing.
Okay.
Papa John's, which has featured founder John Schnatter as the face of the company in the logos and TV ads, is pulling his image from all marketing after reports he used a racial slur.
What do you think that is? About $3 million worth of pizza boxes destroyed?
Well, his name is on like stadiums and things like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
there's
they'll be
Papa John Stadium.
Yeah,
right?
they'll be taking that off. His face was taken off at least some materials by late morning on Friday.
Yeah.
Boy, they're working quick, aren't they?
Yes.
Though the company said that the details and exact timing of everything were still being worked out. The pizza chain said there are no plans to change its name. Well, how do you even think you're going to do that, even if you wanted to?
You're not changing the name.
You can't change the name now.
Dude, I'm always amazed when even smaller companies change the name. Like one that you use. What was it before it was Hightail?
Oh, it was something file share. It was
what was that called? Because it was like the brand name.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess they did a good job since neither of us can think of what it was called, but Hightail old name. It was You Send It.
YouSendIt.com, yeah.
Yeah. It was You Send It. And they changed the name to Hightail. And everybody used to say, yeah, I'll You Send It to you. And nobody says, I'll hightail it to you.
No.
No one does. I know you still use that, sir. At least I think you do.
I haven't used it in a long time.
Yeah. Because now cloud is out there and whatever. But I mean, why would you make that change? Why would you change from Papa John's to what? Friendly Jim's Pizza?
The non-racial pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Tyrone's Pizza and Wings?
Right.
I mean, what are you gonna name it? And honestly, for the first year, what are you gonna be? You're gonna be Tyrone's, formerly Papa John's.
Right.
So you're not getting rid of the name, you're just pounding the name further.
Exactly.
Stupid.
So here we go. Schnatter is still on the board and is the company's largest shareholder.
Okay.
Meaning he remains as a key presence.
Yeah. Boy. He could really fuck them, though, if he sold all his shares.
True.
Take all the money. See, I always wonder why these guys aren't more vengeful. He probably owns like 60-70% of the shares, right?
Well, whatever the largest stockholder is.
I would take every last dime of it out. Every last penny I would fucking cash out and just say, here, okay, fuckers. Now you're $400 million in the hole. Suck my dick. My white dick. That would be me. I would be like, fuck you.
Papa John's has acknowledged in a regulatory filings that Schnatter's public role as its pitchman could be a liability if his reputation was damaged.
Brother.
The company got a taste of that last year when Schnatter stepped down as CEO after blaming disappointing pizza sales on the outcry surrounding football players kneeling during the national anthem.
Right.
This week, Papa John was already trying to further publicity. Let's see. Let me say this again. This week, Papa John's was already trying to further publicly distance itself from Schnatter after Forbes reported the use of the N-word during a conference call.
Okay.
Schnatter apologized and said he would resign as the chairman. That prompted the company to recover some of its losses. And the shares were up less than 1% on Friday. Schnatter owns nearly 30% of the stock.
All right, so that's got to be a good chunk.
Mm-hmm. In addition to appearing in TV ads, Schnatter's image has been on packaging in the center of the logo that usually was well over the website and the Louisville, Kentucky-based company. Okay. Keith Hollingsworth, a professor with the Morehouse College Business Department, said keeping Schnatter in the marketing and the advertising would signal to people that the company does not have a problem with his comments or that it doesn't think that they are a big deal.
Okay.
Who's making it a big deal? That's the crux of where I want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
5 years from now, they might be able to start bringing him back, but at the moment, you have to be very decisive and show you take this very seriously.
Right.
Because those words hurt.
Yeah, pal.
Schnatter had used the slur during a media training exercise. When asked how he would distance himself from racial groups, Schnatter reportedly complained that Colonel Sanders never faced a backlash after using the N-word.
Yeah.
Schnatter subsequently issued a statement acknowledging the use of inappropriate and hurtful language.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the context, I apologize. The fallout from the comments continued on Friday. The University of Louisville said it will remove the Papa John's name from the football stadium, that it will rename the John H. Schnatter Center for Free Enterprise as its business college. Earlier in the week, the school said Schnatter resigned from the board of trustees. Major League Baseball has also said it was indefinitely suspending a promotion with Papa John's that offered people discounts at the pizza chain after a player hit a grand slam.
Mm-hmm.
Papa John's International began operations in 1984, had more than 5,200 locations globally. The company cannot afford to alienate customers with sales already under pressure from rivals such as Domino's.
Yes.
For the first 3 months of the year, Papa John's said the key sales figures fell 5.3% in North America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they actually have a letter from the CEO up on their website distancing themselves from Schnatter. You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is from, what's this guy's name? Steve Ritchie, the CEO of Papa John's International.
Okay.
And he says, Papa John's is not an individual. Papa John's is a pizza company with 120,000 corporate and franchise team members around the world. Our employees represent all walks of life, and we are committed to fostering an inclusive and equitable workplace for all. Racism and any insensitive language, no matter what the context, simply cannot and will not be tolerated at any level of our company.
Right.
The board of directors of Papa John's accepted Mr. Schnatter's resignation as the chairman of the board earlier this week. It has also been decided he will no longer be in any of our advertising or marketing materials associated with the brand.
Bad. You're bad.
Exactly. The decision is the first of several key steps to rebuild trust from the inside out.
Trust.
We will be engaging a broad set of stakeholders to chart. Try that again. We will be engaging a broad set of stakeholders to chart a course forward that demonstrates our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. What a faggot. First, we will identify and retain an independent and outside expert to audit all of our existing processes, policies, and systems related to diversity and inclusion, supplier engagement, and Papa John's culture. As part of that process, we will establish a process. As part of that process, boy, they need a better writer. As part of that process, we will establish a process for communicating progress against transparent goals to everyone in our Papa John's family. Yeah. The entire senior management team will also be visiting key locations across the country and hold listening sessions with employees of our stores to talk about what they are seeing and give them a platform to voice their concerns. To follow up, we will initiate two-way conversations to invite ongoing feedback from employees and franchisees to ensure that their voices are heard. I will personally be leading this effort because there is nothing more important for Papa John's right now. What a fag. Oh, my God. We want to regain trust, though I know we need to earn it. We will demonstrate that a diverse and inclusive culture exists at Papa John's through our deeds and actions. Steve Ritchie, CEO. What a pussy.
Yeah. Look at what Phil Lewis put in the chat room.
Uncle Leroy. Oh,
No.
that's not... Movies?
Above that.
Where's Phil Ooze? Oh, Papa Neely's. It's probably true. You make pizza, Neely?
No, I do not make pizza.
Not yet. Maybe you and Mr. Schnatter should have a meeting.
Right.
You guys could discuss like ideas.
Sure. So, aside from you actually reading that whole letter, how many people will actually take the time to read that whole thing?
None.
Nobody.
Because nobody has a trust issue with fucking Papa John's pizza.
Number one, there was not an incident between any management person and an employee.
No.
No incident happened at a Papa John's outlet. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened within a corporate office. Nothing happened. Right. There was a marketing call on a conference call, and somebody who was part of that conference call opened up their big yap and said, "You know what he said?
Mm-hmm.
You know he used that dreaded word."
Yeah, so lame. And of course, the story probably got out there wrong, too. Not in the correct context initially. Papa John says he hates niggers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm sure that's what was put out there.
Of course.
You know, and then it eased down to what it was, because I'm sure there was tape.
Right.
There was recorded conversation of it. But, dude, how would you like to be the fucking college student that really couldn't give two fucks about Papa John's from anything else, but delivers pizza for these guys, to know that, you know, that on some Saturday morning next week, you're going to have to come in and sit through a 4-hour diversity class? How much would that just enrage you?
It would.
I would be fucking furious. And if you don't show up, you'd lose your gig.
Yeah.
Because we need to make sure that you sign this piece of paper saying that you've taken the inclusive and diversity training, mm-hmm. and you will honor its creed and code.
Right.
That's all they're looking for. They don't give a shit about these courses. They just want the piece of paper signed by every single one of their goddamn employees, so that they can just cut them loose.
Yeah.
They say, "See, we trained them. We trained them, so we did our part. Now they can go back to doing whatever the fuck they want. But, you know, we did train them." That's all this is. PR horseshit.
Right.
Dumb.
Tyrant Dawson in the chat room.
He's right.
Yep.
It is why Trump won. Because the Trump supporters don't even give a fuck about any of this shit.
Whether you're a Trump supporter or not, most people don't give a shit about that.
Oh, no, there's some. There's the Van Jones people out there.
Well, when I said most people, not all.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
It is. But,
it's so dumb.
But my question is, though, what are these companies so afraid of?
Beats me. Because, like, as you point out to me in every fucking email that you send me, it's only 13% of the population. So even if you lose that percentage of business, I mean, unless you are check to check, you're going to be fine. Honestly, if not one black person orders from Papa John's, are they going out of business?
No.
I mean, if we're going to really get into it, let's really get into it. If all of black America boycotted Papa John's and they took a 13% loss, they would be fine. They would be profitable in every single fucking franchise they have. 13% is nothing in the pizza world, because the pizza world's all fucking profit. You know, a pizza costs $2 to make. They sell it for $20. So it's a fucking, what is that? 1,000% profit?
Yeah, whatever it is.
And so if it's 1,000% profit, take out 10% for employee costs. So you have 900 and got me in math. You have 990% profit. So you lose 13 more. Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
You're going to be all profit because pizza is profit. But God forbid somebody shows the big picture and just says, you know what? Fuck these people if they're upset. Fuck them. Let them be upset. Let them be upset that this guy said, the other guy said this word. Jesus. Just stop with the horse shit. Dumb.
Yep. Well, I would like to know who the person was who ran and made that public after 2 months.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I'm sure someone knows.
Well, probably somebody who lost their job due to their downsizing.
Probably.
That's
right.
The way that I look at it, because it said that laundry service had to cut 10% of their workforce.
Yeah,
due to the canceling of the contract.
Yeah, and they would have the recording of the tape.
Yeah, and somebody got pissed off and go, I lost my gig because they lost the contract or they cut the contract, and all because during the conference call, John Schnatter said blah blah blah. Yeah. He did? Really?
Well, I'm still going to call him Papa John.
Mm-hmm.
He's Papa John. So if they want to keep that name, they're going to have to keep being associated with him.
Right.
And not that dumbass fucking Peyton Manning either. Hate those commercials.
Yeah, well.
Gee, Papa, how much pizza do we have to sell today? Shut up. Throw a football, you cunt.
You won't be seeing those commercials anymore.
Oh, no. Will they keep Peyton Manning, or does he just get thrown away in the wash?
No, I think since, well, the thing is that Papa John's was the pizza of the NFL.
Yeah.
And now I think it's Domino's.
Oh, is it?
I think Domino's stepped in and took that.
Do you have a Domino's in your town?
Yeah, there's one down not far from where I live.
Do you eat from it or no?
I haven't, no.
I'm just curious if they have good pizza. When I worked at Domino's for a few years, eons ago, 25, 30 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the pizza was always crappy. I never thought the pizza was very good. I'm just curious if Domino's is any better now.
Well, they did a major upgrade about, I want to say like 6, maybe 8 years ago.
Okay.
And they really did I remember Domino's pizza wasn't, very good, just like what you're saying. Yeah. And they did a real big makeover. And then when I had it after the makeover, I thought it wasn't too bad.
Okay. Maybe it's good now. I don't know. They don't have one in my town, which is amazing that they don't have one in my town. But no Domino's here. So, and I'm not willing to drive to another town to get a fucking Domino's pizza. Who's your good pizza? Who do you go to?
Probably my favorite in the area is a company called Aurelio's.
Okay, just so mom and pop.
Yeah, they're kind of a regional thing.
Okay.
Yeah, NFL names Pizza Hut as the new official pizza sponsor.
That shit is shit.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter works at Pizza Hut, and she brings pizza over here sometimes. It's like, just take that shit out of here.
Yeah. So anyway, that's who the new one is.
Pizza Hut. Ugh. Gross.
Pizza Hut is the new official pizza of the NFL after Papa John's gets the boot.
Yeah, and to answer your question or comment, John Bate, no, I will not be owning a pizza franchise. Because while it is all profit, it is way too much work for the profit. Pizza's a fucking bitch of a job to own. Keeping track of all that tax and all the mileage and all the bullshit that comes with it and all the health codes that you gotta honor when it's really just a bunch of fucking college jizz balls with their hands on their ball sack and then fucking handling the pizza. Dude, that's one thing. If you ever saw what really goes on in any restaurant or pizza shop or whatever, you'd never eat anywhere again. Fucking pizza's disgusting. It really is, just knowing that people come in there, they got their hands on their fucking motor of their car or on their balls or whatever, and they go in and make a fucking pizza or something.
Right.
Throw wings, you ever notice whenever you go to a pizza place, you never see anybody with any fucking gloves on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting whatever their hands have been on. And let's face it, you walking around in a pizza room that's 120 degrees, your balls are sweating. So you're adjusting and fucking getting ball sweat on your hands and then mixing it in with your wings. Ugh. But I'll still eat it. I don't give a fuck. It cooks off. That's how I always look at it. It cooks off. Dude, anywhere you eat is the same way. Anywhere that you eat, I don't care what people say, it's all disgusting.
Yep.
You know, unless you're cooking it yourself, you're dealing with somebody else's fucking jizzed on hands or whatever. Every single time. Always. Look, now I ruined pizza for John Bate. Sorry, dude.